Hi there, my beloved pioneering spirits. Today I would like to discuss a topic about being of service, being our true source self. This is something that I have oftentimes spoke about, and today I have written something. It is still very amazing to see what is going on in our outer reality, because there's still a lot of those who claim that you need to do a certain method, you need to go through a certain way, you need to connect to a certain teacher in order to be enlightened, to be source infused, to have all what it takes to go within the ascension process, which is not true, because we are all source beings and this is our natural state of being. We are pure spirit. So all it takes is for us be willing to connect to who we truly are. And all it takes is divine remembrance about who we truly are. So I would like to read something to you. These are two things that I would like to read. One is that I published online, that I wrote today after, so much going on around this, because so much is being exposed to the light. And as I say, there is no opposite to the love. There's just love divine, but there's a lack of love, and that lack of love is known as being more dark. But at the same time, it's amazing to see how so much that is being, that's just not from that true authentic place of source love, that's being mirrored to us as being called the dark. But at the same time that we have that dark, there's always the same amount of light. So as you see right now, things sometimes seem very dark to you. Know that this means that there's a lot of light right now on earth. So please remember that this is the case, okay? So this is how it is. And I would like to read to you something that I wrote on behalf of that, as what is so much going on right now and being largely discussed in some groups, and very interesting how it is unfolding. So this is what I wrote. We are all multidimensional beings, okay? So we do not need to channel some part of ourselves or some divine being to be connected, for we are always, always connected to all that is. We're always merged with all aspects of the self, and this is called the I Am Presence. We are eternally connected to source energy, and spirituality is truly not as difficult or complicated as some individuals make it seem through their teachings. It is as natural to us as breathing, for we are eternally connected with all life within creation. We are spirit beings, so we don't need any methods or saviors to help us remember the self and ascend. There are some individuals, there always be, whose ways only make things more complicated than they are in our true essence of being. We are source beings, and therefore all we need to do is connect with our inner source self. There is no method or a particular approach for this, no one way or just another way, just pure intent of being. That's all it takes. God, Goddess is not in seeking, it is in knowing that source is everywhere. It is within us and all around us. It is in everything. True spirituality is simple and organic, and not as complex as some wish to make it. We don't need to work hard on becoming spiritually connected, because we already are pure spirit. To be connected or disconnected is only a matter of free will decision, and we are only a thought away from being connected to our divinity. Okay, as I say, as long as there will always be those who will say certain things that are not really the truth, that they will keep it from us in order to keep us away from our power, there will also always exist pure, rare diamonds and things that really are there for our larger self-remembrance, things that are there to empower us, messages, voices of people who really are here to empower everyone. It's not, the empowerment is not just about empowering yourself and then seeing yourself as this great being who's above everyone else, but assisting and sharing your messages to assist others in their own empowerment. So another text that I would really like to read to all of you is something that I wrote yesterday on my meadow in the woods when I was just alone, breathing the source energy flowing through me. I'm going a lot out right now these days. I'm in nature for several hours. If I don't go into the mountains, I'm in the woods, because this is so much needed right now. We're shifting, and this transition takes a lot of the focus away from the old. So therefore it is very good to create this void that we can then furthermore concentrate on the new. And this is what I've been writing about yesterday. It just flew through me like spontaneously. It was a random automatic writing. I kind of have bad handwriting when I write automatically because it's very fast. I don't think I just write whatever pours out of me. So I might make some mistakes as reading because it is a bad handwriting. So this is about us being of service and how our missions are shifting and how we are shifting within how we are within that service that we provide to all life. So this is the question that I asked is, am I on my highest path of service? And when I was asking that question, I already knew that this was a grander thing that I would like to share with others as well as to this matter. So let me now start reading. The question, am I on my highest path of service, is one truly important one to ask. All others are a part of it already in their true nature. So you wonder about your wondering. Isn't that something interesting? It is in a way truly serving oneself and the true path of the divine that one is on. You wonder about all that you wonder about, whether it is truly a part of the new or is it the old just going to repeat itself. Yes, this serves in the most greatest way truly. It brings you back to your core, aligned with the self and ready to serve big time. You are serving indeed, are you not? As long as we focus on service out of purity, which is always your heart's intent, we are on our highest path. And the more that we open up and evolve during that process of selfless service, the more our nature of service is actually changing, shifting within the divine flow. The more that we serve and focus on giving, the more we open to our true nature. You may have noticed this in the way that you provide your own service. When some old parts fall off, they're changed, exchanged with the authentic energy signature, which is the frequency. So the true nature of service keeps shifting as we ourselves are shifting. Jesus was also such an example. He did not serve the masses right away. He underwent many initiations of spirit, and everyone does the same way, just in a unique manner that matches the vibration and evolution of the individualized spirit self. As you are shifting this way, so is your service. So much has fallen away, and always when this happens, there is a sort of an adjustment period to kind of sink it all in, to digest, to stabilize and ground in the new. And since time is still a perception in this current reality, this also needs some time. So in this time, this can mature more, and more can come into the light, be revealed and seen as how it is truly in truth. This takes devotion, self-time, patience, and trust, and not being in a hurry or control. So as this process, you have been within for the most part of your last year and prior to that is unfolding, this is now changing and shifting. And a new cycle is underway and something new is preparing to be born and rebirthed. This doesn't happen overnight. This takes time and adjustment, for sometimes in this reality, a feeling and game of routine can be very strong and kind of persistent. This too is a part of the path. Every step is necessary and crucial, so there is no need worrying over any phase in our lives. Currently, slow and steady progress through patience and persistence can yield the best results. And they are already here anyway, as in deeper truth of one, there is no time, only unveiling of the truth that is there all along. So by listening to your heart's voice of the spirit within, there are no wrong steps or mistakes to take, only the divine flow of all things in the nature of life that is eternal and forever changing. Those are the sacred ways of spirit. and only spirit can give birth to life. Spirit and the divine love, that surely is all that truly matters. And focus on loving service, also giving and receiving, which is one of the same, always means being on the highest path of spirit. Keep up the good work, it is all divine. And there's a PS. There is no lagging behind. These are only illusions of the ego. When we truly know ourselves through divine love that we are, we can fully understand this, and then our shift begins. So this is for all of you, my beloved Ascension pioneers. Sometimes we all kind of feel those moments when we ourselves put this pressure on ourselves within our purpose and what we do, and we kind of seek too much perfection, but when in fact we should more realize that we are already perfect and whole. And when we focus on things that we really love and devote certain amounts of time step by step, this truly does yield the best results. And we have to know that we are not what we do. We are our path that is so multidimensional in nature. And our focus and our service is always shifting because we are shifting. We're opening up to the new energies. We are truly starting to remember who we are. And this takes a lot of the time that we get to spend with ourselves. So every time we go deeper into that, our service becomes deeper as well. So we are all sometimes very much adjusted to this routine kind of energy because it is so familiar to us. And sometimes the path of least resistance is not the one to take. Sometimes we're afraid of risks and going to the new ventures and vistas, you know, kind of accepting new people in our circle, new circumstances. But this is very necessary in the path of spirit because the spirit is forever changing, and this is who we are. We are pure spirit, and if we don't change along with it, there comes this divine pull, this push and pull that drags us along the way. Because Gaia is shifting, let's face it. This is happening all over the world, and there's many reports on certain things that are happening. You know, those people who are not so focused on just receiving the information on what is happening on Earth through channelings, through sources of, you know, through just different sources that are now online and circling the web. Those people who truly do focus on what is going on in the world, also by being out in the world, not just sitting behind a computer all day and just read channeled materials and just read everything that they can read about, but do the research about the things that are really good, you know, that are really happening in our world, not what some beings are saying that is happening, but doing the research, what is actually going on, and then really going out in nature and feeling energies yourself. And this is how I operate. I have to be nature so that I can be tuned to those spirit energies that are shifting, so that I can feel those vibrations and that I can report to all of you as well, because this is my part of my purpose. It's not who I am. It's not the whole me. There's many parts to me, and the same goes to all of you as well. But we are starting to feel that call to serve the greater, you know, the greater global perspective more and more. And we cannot just sit on our chair. And I have seen this. Many people are now becoming very inspired to do their own videos and to speak up. And when we do that, when we become this anchor point, we cause the ripple effects. And so many people then feel the same urge to just share their truth in their own way. And as we do that, we create the wave that is being, you know, that has the ability to be ridden by so many people. And this is great. This is really happening. So instead of just being in this box, go outside of the box. See what is truly happening on the world, in the world. See many news from the independent resources about what is happening, about these sounds that are now being recognized and noticed here on our world. Like some people call them the doomsday sounds or the apocalypse sounds, but these are just sounds of the shift, and there could be many explanations of that, but when you go within, you will find your own, and you will see that there are changes. If people don't go out in nature, they don't notice how the atmosphere is changing. For instance, I'm very attuned to nature, and nature is the one that is shifting because nature is Gaia and we're a part of it. So if we're attuned to it, we notice these changes ourselves. And I'm always in nature, so I feel it in my body, in my whole being. And I notice things because I observe with my own eyes. I don't read about what's going on. I do as well, but my main focus is when I feel myself. And I see that. I have started noticing changes last year very intensely. They've been going on for a while now, but last year was very intense when I started noticing the global weather changes, and the winds that started blowing were different. And I started calling them the winds of change. And the weather was different for in comparison to how it was before. I can only compare in my own country, but when I connect to other individuals, I see that it's happening all over the world. So within that shift, we are each being called to something new, because as nature is shifting, we are shifting, and our purpose is never just the same. It's not stationary. It's like the planets are rotating, always changing positions and interlocking with one another, exchanging energy, causing energies that cause ripple effects. And this is us. We are a part of that. We are a part of the universal creation energy, just the same way. So I hope this helps. Hope this sheds some new perspective, some new light. And my beloved, dear pioneering spirits, I'll talk to you really soon. Have a beautiful week, everyone. Bye bye.